What up, peeps, and welcome back to Engines of Santa Fe. This is the 5th episode you're watching right now. Today's episode, I will be talking about the EMD GP60M. I'm also going to be talking about the GP60B too. So let's get started on the history, why these engines were made, and if there's still any of them in service. The production of the GP60Ms and GP60Bs really began when EMD created the GP60 in 1985. Even though it looked really neat and really fascinating, it just needed something that needed to be safe, like a North American safety cab or a wide cab. And so, in 1990, EMD created the GP60M. There were 63 GP60Ms, number 100 to 162. And there were also 23 GP60Bs, number 325 to 347. Now, regarding specifications, GP stands for General Purpose, 60 means for the model series, and M means for it was given a modified cab or wide cab. Now for the B unit, now for the GP60Bs, the B only stands for B unit since it doesn't have a cab at all. See it? It doesn't have a cab. Both of them run on the B-B wheel arrangement, had a length of 95 feet and 9 inches, with a fuel capacity of 3,700 US gallons, with a prime mover, which is an EMD, a 16-710 G3A, with an engine type being a V16 diesel. They had a top speed of 65 miles an hour. They weighed in 2,700 pounds. And lastly, the GP60Ms were fitted with a Nathan K3 LA air horns. Here is what they had sounded like. Now, if you pair up with two GP60Ms with two GP60Bs, it just seems like a streamlined passenger train, only it was streamlined for a freight train only. Even though these engines were placed into service, not all was flawless with them. They will be involved in various wrecks. In 1994, GP60M number 144 will be involved in a Cajon Pass runaway train collision. It was so badly damaged, it ended up being scrapped. Another GP60M 148 will also be involved in a wreck too. However, I wasn't able to find information where it wrecked or when it wrecked. So yeah, tell me in the comments of what happened to 148, where it crashed, because I wasn't able to find information about it. In 2002, GP60M number 142 will be involved in a head-on collision in Texas, and it ended up being scrapped. Then another GP60M number 152 will be involved in a wreck or head-on collision, but I wasn't able to find information about this engine. So let me know in the comments below what happened to it. Another GP60M would also be involved in a wreck, however it would survive. This time it was numbered 157 and was involved in a train wreck around Cajon Pass in 1996. And its B unit, 342, would also survive. The other two locomotives would end up being scrapped. So even these four were not as lucky as the others. The GP60Ms proved to be worth for the Santa Fe and kept continuing running, even after the merger of the Burlington Northern and Santa Fe, which would create BNSF. I should also mention GP60M, numbered 146. It was painted into a Morse paint scheme. During the BNSF merger, nothing would change about the GP60Ms or GP60Bs. They would just be given BNSF lettering, like a patch or something like that. However, they will only be mainly signed in the Pacific Northwest or in the state of California, and they would never be seen on the main line as often. Instead, they'll be transferred for switching service in various BNSF yards in the Pacific Northwest or in the state of California. And get this is pretty funny. A GP60B number 347 was rebuilt with an SG40-2 cab in 2010 and was later renumbered to BNSF 170, but later renumbered to 200. Look at it, it's a GP60B, but with a cab. Just look at it. By 2017, all the GP60Ms will be rebuilt into GP60M-3s, with the -3 meaning for the -3 series, I think. And they still roam the rails in the Pacific Northwest and in California, still pulling freight trains as of today. But one thing's for sure is that I am happy to say this. They made their good mark on the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe. I hope you guys liked this episode. Sorry if it's a bit short, but there wasn't too much information about them, only the GP60. Now, the next episode I will be putting a poll, so go to the community tab and choose what locomotive I should do. Anyways, that's all. Goodbye, my people.
Missing someone.